Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the wonky intro. My intro wouldn't load, so I sat here forever and kept trying and trying. Finally, I was like, I'm just going to play it like this and zoom in. So, yeah, I apologize, you guys. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday, though. We have a lot to talk about. I cannot wait to get into all of this stuff with you guys. Let's see. Let me say hello to you. Hey, Cray Cray. Hey, Danny B. Hey, Ashton. Hey, LFT. Hey, Truth Teller. So many creepy vibes from his big nose self. I know. Oh, so creepy. Even like the people that are coming forward now saying he would like be hanging out at the school, kind of just staring around. That just gives me the creeps. Hey, TF. Hey, Heather, West Virginia Holler Girl, Princess Megan Elsa. Hey, Eastern Girl, Lucia. Hey, Connie, K-Braze. LFT, I saw you calling as I was starting. Hey, Jordan. Hey, MK. Good to see you. Hey, Luana, Deco. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Mystic, Tony B, Kathy, Rescue Mom. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about this woman who's been very vocal about her love for Bryan Kohberger, which I want to say, Truth Teller, the channel that's in here right now, you guys. And if one of the mods doesn't care, can you share a link to her channel? She is the one who originally told me about a TMZ article about this lady. And then I guess a bunch of other places started picking it up after TMZ. But yeah, and she doesn't currently have a true crime channel. She just has like a hangout channel, but she's starting to shift into true crime. So you guys would probably like it over there. So definitely go check it out. Hey, Sonia. I'm happy that you're here. Back and forth doing Sunday sauce, but listening. Still looks like he fell from the orange from tree to me. I know he does similar. It looks similar to him. Holy cow, my brain. I'm so mad at technology this morning. I've spent like the last hour and a half working on these stupid emojis, which they're not stupid. They're cute as hell. But I can't get them to upload. They keep saying the size ratio is off. So I even started this freaking membership that's like $60 a year to resize the photos and stuff, and that still didn't work. It was just a pain. Then the intro wasn't working. Oh, Candace. I don't know, but this was something that I covered a lot with Chris Watts too. Like, I remember being just completely fascinated by all the people who were like obsessed with Chris Watts and wanted to be his buddy and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Emma. Thank you, Truth Teller. And of course, I have scaled back on sharing links. I still want to share other channels. I love YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. Like, it's my secret for my anxiety. It's the one thing that like will get your mind off of whatever it is in your own life that you're kind of thinking about, worrying about, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so let's see. We have a lot to talk about. I'm wondering, should we start with the articles or should we start with the photos? We'll just start with the article with this young lady, and then we'll move into the other things. Because I want to talk about this gag order. I want to talk about the family attorney. I want to talk about his history, his background, the motion that he put in. We're going to look at all of that. But first, we'll just read this crazy nonsense. So Kentucky mom, I like how they add that she's a mom in the title. Kentucky mom says Bryan Kohberger is her, quote, divine masculine, unquote, and claims she sent him letters and dolled up pics. And the Kentucky woman claims to write letters to Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger while he's in jail and sent him pictures of herself. No, we're not watching this.
I just switched to Verizon Business Unlimited.
who she goes by Brittany J. Brittany, a single mother, posted dozens of lengthy diary-like posts where she professes her love for Bryan Kohberger, claims to have sent him letters and pictures of herself, and calls the quadruple murder suspect her divine masculine. The woman, who goes by Brittany J. Hislop on Facebook and claims to have a 16-year-old son, has written out her feelings for Kohberger nearly every day, sometimes multiple times a day, since early January. One of her recent posts says, I know that the last I had heard weeks ago is that Bryan is being kept isolated from other inmates. And so I know that we do both likely sleep alone, as I mentioned in a past post. Although I mentioned something about getting certain confirmations from him about his feelings and him being my divine masculine, I don't mean that I reach out to him to receive anything back at all from him, since I do that from a place of caring about him, sharing my feelings, and knowing what a serious situation he's in. There's Brittany J. Hislop. Let me check on you guys. Does Britt know? I don't know. I think she knows, but I don't know if she knows her name. This makes me worry for anyone under her care. I know, Danielle. It's scary. Something has got to be wrong with her. Ugh. There it is right there in the title. Yep. Thank you, Danny B, for sharing that. And you guys will like that. You are going to hear it just the way it is from that channel over there, which I appreciate. And I think that you guys will too. I watch it whenever I'm anxious or can't sleep. Yep, me too. It's a savior for that. Hey, Woofy. Good to see you. One of the emojis I worked on today was a wolf, and it was going to be such a pretty emoji. It had a little like crescent moon in it and stuff, but wouldn't freaking work. So, but I am going to get those going. How can you be a supporter who killer? What is wrong with people? Give your heads a shake. Seriously. Let's continue and see what else it says. Hislop's first post was January 4th, which was 5 days after Kohberger was arrested in connection with the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. She used the phrase divine masculine counterpart in several posts and said she knows they're meant to be together because of their astrological signs. Her posts are long, stream of consciousness type ramblings where she defends her love for Kohberger that includes graphic details about how she's gone years without sex and searches Google for his images at night. Wow. I just don't understand her thought process. I don't know. I really don't know. Ooh, Reubens, yum. My parents make those sometimes. Wait, what's her name? Brittany J. Hislop. Brittany J. Hislop. Okay. There are some men that if they experienced higher intimacy levels, oh my God, this is just disgusting. I just cannot believe that we're even reading this about this freaking crazed maniac, but okay. She said there are some men that if they experience higher intimacy levels and fulfillment would never go and want to find someone else to be with in those ways. And with that said, when I'm fixated on a particular person, such as my love interest, who I feel is more than that to me, I don't want other men, she wrote on February 1st. I know that even if Bryan had been without sex for a significantly long time, as I have, it may not be as long as me, since the length of time for me is very long, as I've mentioned in past posts. But how could people not see it as sad if he's my divine masculine counters like I've thought he is? In a January 30th post, she wrote, to anyone that says I'm not righteous for having the feelings that I do for Bryan, I will say that you likely aren't anyone to judge me in that regard, and also you may not understand my emotions and hardships and misfortunes. Also, to anyone that judges me negatively regarding Bryan and my feelings for him, I'll say that you may not understand certain true love connections, such as twin flames, soulmates, and divine counterparts. Okay. And then on January 27th, she says that she's sending photos to him and how she wants her makeup to look perfect. I wish that I could send him photos of me where I've made my makeup and hair and overall self look the best that I can look versus me sending photos that I'm not looking my best. Okay. You know what? Like, what are the chances that a person would troll like this? It's possible. I don't think she is, but there are sick people who use these kind of situations to get ahead in life, and that's just the truth. Many of the comments on her page pled with her to get help or focus on her son. This woman isn't the first to confess her feelings for a suspected murder during a highly publicized trial. Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most notorious serial killers, received letters while in jail from a love-struck woman that contained X-rated photos and graphic material. Lisa Daudio, a retired lieutenant who teaches at the University of New Haven, told the U.S. Sun that a fascination with serial killers always exists, where people became enamored and literally fall in love with the epitome of a bad guy. I've actually done a video like digging into the psychology of that in reference to Chris Watts a long, long time ago. She said it usually starts with letters saying they think the killer is innocent. Then they might send X-rated photos, and it escalates from there. I think that there's a piece of thrill for the thrill seeker that just wants to be connected somehow, or to be the girlfriend, the wife, the boyfriend, and so to a serial killer. Meanwhile, Kohberger remains in the Latah County Jail. We know that there's a gag order on the case. So let's... We're going to move on to the next thing, but let me check on you guys in chat first. I hope the prison doesn't let them get to him, though. It's probably the only way that BK would get any letters like that. Sassy Blue, I don't know. I'm curious what he's going to think about, we've heard a lot of theories that he may be an incel, not necessarily that he can't get women at all, but maybe he just couldn't get a particular type of woman, like, Kaylee and Maddie, those. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see how he reacts to some of this. She'll always know where he is. Hey, Shelly. She's trying to get in love after lockup with him. Hold up, y'all. I'm about to take you outside with me so I can smoke a cigarette while we get into the other stuff. Yeah. Well, he can have that one. Okay. Hey, Mod Squad. Oh, my God. So good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Needed to check on the lovebirds. Like he wants a desperate single mom. Well, he certainly hasn't helped his chances now. She's worried about us judging her for her love interest, but is worried about BK judging her for not looking her best. Yeah, on behalf of white women, we don't claim this one. Okay, so let me go back over to Facebook. Now, I thought these were just funny photos, like of him, what he may look like and as he ages in prison, because hopefully he spends his natural life there, or unnatural life if he gets the death penalty. Let's see. I don't even remember what all okay, so this is where I started down the Shannon Gray rabbit hole. So someone posted this. Is anyone else concerned that the Gonsalves family attorney, Shannon Gray, agreed to a suspension of his law license in 2022 for not following the attorney rules of professionalism, and that he revealed information relating to the representation of his client without authorization, which caused actual injury by revealing detrimental and confidential information? Now, I grabbed that link, but first I want us to go look at what he filed the other day, which was this right here. So remember, there's a gag order, and the gag order was first just for like persons like employed by the court, basically. And then it expanded to the victims' families' attorneys. Now, the victims' families, the way that I understand it, are not under gag order, and I don't think that they can do that completely. But the attorney's not happy about this. So he files a motion, and it says, properly construed, the order does not apply to the victims' families in this matter. The only parties to the case are the people and the defendant. Accordingly, as a non-party citizens, the victims' surviving family members are free to speak to the public and the media under the First Amendment. Simply put, their rights to freedom of speech cannot be restricted through a judicial prior restraint. Gentile makes it clear that only the rights of attorneys who are actively engaged in litigating a pending matter can be restricted without satisfying the rigorous prior restraint standards set forth in Nebraska versus Stewart, and then Gentile versus State Bar of Nevada. It says, as an attorney for one of the victims' families, I am allowed to relay to the media any of the opinions, views, or statements of those family members regarding any part of the case, as they are allowed to speak about the case under the First Amendment. This is different from offering up my own opinion regarding the facts and issues surrounding the case. It would place an undue burden on the victims' families if the attorney whom they have retained to represent their interest was prohibited from serving as their spokesperson to the media and other parties in transmitting the victim families' thoughts and opinions. As attorney for the victims' family members who are not parties to this action, I too am allowed to comment on the case and other issues surrounding the investigation pursuant to, I don't know how that ended and it's not at the top of the page because this is the next page. I got it straight from, let's see. Pursuant to, IRPC Rule 3.6. I am not an attorney of record involved in this case. I have played no part in the investigation, prosecution, or defense of the case. Neither the state nor the defense has shared any information regarding the case, and therefore the only governing rule for public comment regarding this case would be IRPC Rule 3.6. Additionally, in the Gentile case, the court upheld ABA rules as they applied to attorneys who are representing a party to the case, but held that the wording of those rules was unconstitutionally vague. And therefore, it's vague in its application to the attorneys who are representing a party to the case, and even more vague to attorneys like I, who are not representing any party in the case. The order is facially overbroad and vague. On its face, it precludes all comments or opinions, even if there is no possibility, much less substantial probability, of prejudicing the tribunal. It also extends, even after a jury has been seated and admonished, to avoid all press coverage regarding the case. As such, the order is unconstitutionally overbroad. The point of a non-dissemination order is to protect the rights of the parties in the case, and especially in criminal cases, it is an attempt to preserve a fair and impartial jury pool. Once the jury has been selected, the non-dissemination order becomes moot and therefore would not be allowed to be in full force for the entirety of the case. Therefore, I request that the court forthwith amend and or clarify the amended non-dissemination order regarding the issues addressed above. And I have to agree with him. I don't see how they could do this. Oh, welcome, Danielle. Thank you for joining. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Thank you. Hey, Brittany J. By the way, the woman who's obsessed with Bryan, her name is Brittany J. Brittany J. Hislop, though. Different last name, but still. I'm interested in serial killers as to not be a victim. Alicia. Hey, Alex. Hope you and your family are feeling better. Oh, my gosh. Speculating if BK followed serial and Alavers, he likely hoped for this from women or expected it. He probably did expect it, honestly. And thank you, Alicia. We're doing better. My mom was really sick last night. She's not doing great this morning. I went out this morning and got her breakfast. I went and got her some fruit, some Gatorade, and some flowers. And hopefully she gets feeling better today because it's just stresses me out to the 10th degree when she's sick. Hey, Connor. Okay. 4chan headline, the only way to attract women in 2023 is to become a psychotic serial killer. It makes me wonder with this coming out from the G family, if they weren't behind the leaks that came out like the same. Well, I've wondered that too, Alicia, just like what came out the other day from News Nation. The only people not bound by this order are the family members that would have any kind of information that could be valid or accurate, and so I don't know. Happy Sunday, Britt. He seems a bit brave to tell the court how to conduct business. Well, I think he's hopeful, but I don't know that they'll listen to him. Can you show her picture again? Yeah. Let's go back to it for just a sec because I still have it open right here. Brittany J. Hislop. And she's talked, and we can go look at her Facebook if we have time at the end. I'll see what we can look like, because the articles aren't going to be able to put everything. Apparently she talks often about it. And thank you, Luana. Oh, she is 63. Cray. Hey, Melissa Jade. Hey, Eris. Just wanted to stop by and say good afternoon. Not doing well this morning, having fatigue, pressure, and weakness. I'll be taking it easy until I regain strength. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Eris. I hope you feel better. Okay, so back to our stuff we're going to look at. Because I did grab some other things that were just kind of interesting as well. And then some stuff about the family's attorney, that just so that we know. What the heck? No. Okay. This was interesting because remember how we talked about how red his hands were when he was first, arrested? People wondered, did he have some sort of latex allergy? We knew he had been wearing latex gloves all the time. Even, random reports that have come out about the police watching the house. They see him with latex gloves cleaning the car, with latex gloves in the grocery store, those kind of things. So it does, they are becoming less red. Well, thank you, Stuart. I love you guys being here, and I appreciate that. The attorney is right on. He's schooling the judge in the Constitution, as the other state did by releasing the withheld search warrant. Looks like he scrubbed hands in bleach. I know. I've actually had a chemical burn from cleaning with bleach, and my hands were really red like that too. But I mean, they're still scarred to this day from it. I mean, this is just speculation. We don't know what it is. I just thought that was interesting looking at it from, point to point. Now, I wanted to show you guys, this is an old Visco post of Kaylee's, but listen to what she says in this post. Recently, I've been wishing I could be with the one who made us all. How peaceful it would be to be with the one who makes the sunrises and the sunsets. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Then we have, let's see what else I grabbed. This is just a tweet from Jennifer Coffindaffer regarding Papa Roger. There's little things coming out regarding that account every day. You might see something here or there. But she says the blood on the side of 112 King Road was discussed related to body positioning previously. Papa Roger also had an opinion which he gave with authority. Almost proud. For crying out loud, that is rust dripping in the foundation. The blood theory was debunked in a matter of days. Stop posting it. And then Papa Roger says, prove it. I didn't think you could, which I've always thought that was complete BS about it being rust or whatever. It looks nothing like what rust would look like. And that's just silly. But let's see what else I grabbed. It is absolutely remarkable to see how close the neighbor's house was to the King Road house. Most of the media images don't show this. At first glance, it looks like the house is totally isolated, but the neighboring house actually is situated very close to the front driveway within meters. Kohberger took a huge risk with this one. Now, we knew, I'm curious, I think that the camera on this side of the house is what picked up those noises. We know the camera on the front was removed, but it, from other things that I've seen, it appears that there may have been one right here as well. But that is super close. And I can't help but think, from day one. How, like, I don't want to say brave or courageous, but the nerve to walk into a house full of people. There's probably cameras all over the neighborhood. Who knows if there's cameras in the house? Who knows who's there and if they have their cell phones and that kind of thing. I will be curious to find out if he had ever been at a party or anything like that. I just think that he would have cased the joint a little bit more than what we are aware of. Yep, Brittany. Bentley's dad, he does construction, and he even he was looking at the kind of furnace in the house, because home heating oil is red, but it's more like red tinted. It kind of looks like Kool-Aid, and it wouldn't coagulate and turn black. But yeah, he said that he thinks that it's blood as well. And then we had, Duty Ron and Ed Wallace saying that. And not only are they law enforcement, but Ed Wallace has like some architectural background as well. Thank you, Brandy. Depression has no discretion, even though no discretion, even though I've been at the discretion at the top of its selection. Best word to describe its infection, like a disease that hits you and you don't see it till it gets you. Hey, Yvette. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, now these are interesting. These are from Ethan. Remember, we looked at Ethan has the older brother, the half brother, and he had been a little bit active in the subreddit for the Moscow murders. Well, his wife is on there as well, and she said the 911 caller was the friend who went in, because now someone had reposted these in the Facebook group. They're from closer towards the beginning. But she says 911 caller was the friend who went in because Dylan called him to come over because she was scared from what she had heard in the night. He went to Xana and Ethan's room first and then called 911. Why Dylan or Bethany didn't call the police once is the question. Then she says, yes, I hope it will come out what Dylan heard. Dylan supposedly called all the girls in the house after the crying and screaming stopped and no one answered. And she still didn't call the police. She needs to explain herself and her actions that night. And then she says, Xana and Ethan were in her room, in Xana's room. Now, it's interesting because of these new reports coming out about their injuries and where Ethan may have possibly been, the order of how these things occurred. Truth teller, I don't know anything about it. I've only seen I saw a live stream yesterday on it, but I didn't watch it. So maybe I should check it out. Hey, ATS. Hey, Angie. Everyone I know has Ring doorbells and security, and a lot of people also have inside cameras. I know they don't stop people, but what the F? I know. That's what I think. Just to come in there, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that you wouldn't expect maybe someone would videotape you, someone would be live streaming somebody. I don't know. It's crazy. Found the camera they have on the front porch. It's a light bulb camera that has infrared and night vision. It's motion activated and continues recording up to 15 to 30 seconds after motion is detected. Danny B, that was smart to find that. I wouldn't even have think of that. Hey, David. Arrived alive. Better late than never. Hey, H-Town. Riddler. Let's see. Take this off the screen before we continue because you can't really see everything, even though I don't know what all's left. I think we've touched on quite a lot of it. Oh, it's basically like a description of what will happen in the trial, but I don't want to go there yet. I want to stick with the theme of Dylan that night because I wanted to ask you guys, did you see the video that Sweetie Pie Low posted yesterday? This was a comment of what had happened, but it was an old comment from a long time ago, before we knew many of the details that we have now, before that Kim lady came out. And it was really interesting. It kind of describes what happened with Dylan that morning, as if possibly maybe there was, like, she was on drugs and she was scared. She didn't know if what she had seen was actual reality. So the next day she calls friends to help her clear the house. The way that she explained it was that she didn't even come out of her room. So, and I don't know, it's just a comment. It could be true or false or whatever, but it is an interesting way that would make sense. What video, TF? From Sweetie Pie Low? I could pull it up for a minute. Hold on, let's see. Let me grab the link too, in case you guys are not subscribed. I love Lauren. She has a great channel. She's very sweet. She does a lot with Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina. That's how I found her, because she started going through like Donna's readings versus like police records with the JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan case. But here is her channel. Now we're just going to watch the first minute or two, just where she explains this comment. And then you guys can go check. The link I put in is actually this video. So she continues by showing like a conversation with her and her husband. He's military, and he's kind of talking about his experience with the fight or flight syndrome and that kind of stuff.
Guys, long time no see. Hope everybody reason why Dylan and Bethany. And it totally goes with what Kim is saying. The post was titled, it said, "Back to the original rumor out of Moscow. Now with new context on 911 call and insight on use of drugs being rumored." And then it's a theory. Marking as info because it's speculation around town. Still a theory at best, not confirmed. One of the very first rumors I was told in town was that the two surviving roommates heard something, went into one room, and locked the door until morning before calling friends over and then the police. This rumor started so much speculation and head scratching in the beginning. Like, if they heard something, why wouldn't they call the police then? The second part of the rumor I had been told mentioned a man in a ski mask, and that's why the girls ran into a room and locked the door. I didn't give much thought to these rumors because both versions had me asking, why would you just lock your door and wait till morning if you were so scared? Why wouldn't you call 911 immediately? So this is full context now, and all the rumors in town seem to be coming full circle. I'll speculate which part is rumor and which part I'm filling in as my own speculation. The person says, the rumor, in parentheses.
Okay, I'm just pausing because we have to for fair use. Her psychic friend she featured was really off on this case. Nada, though, she's been really on with the other one. So I think, that's why people watch so closely now with these cases that are happening now, because of her past track record. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Let me keep playing.
One of the surviving roommates heard rummaging and then a scream. She came out of her bedroom and saw a man with a ski mask standing at the top of stairs on the second floor. And this person wrote this. We were still impression that Dylan and Bethany were on the ground floor. We were told that they just slept through it, right? That there was no police called because they were sleeping. And lo and behold, you find out that Long Dylan's on the second floor.
And in sleeping, she was very much awake, saw the killer, heard troubling things, and still didn't call 911 for several hours.
Anyway, so one of the surviving roommates heard rummaging and then a scream. She came out of her bedroom and saw a man with a ski mask standing at the top of the stairs, second floor. She had been heavily under the influence of drugs and alcohol and thought maybe she was hallucinating but still scared. Went into her other surviving roommate's bedroom, locked the door, fell asleep, and didn't wake until morning. When she woke, she still wasn't sure if she dreamt or hallucinated. That night, so she called her roommates, but they did not answer, becoming even more spooked. Both first floor roommates called friends, boyfriends over to come clear the house and welfare check the roommates. Bethany Funk comes over, goes to second floor, and finds Ethan and Xana first in the bedroom together, not outside the room, and makes call off surviving roommate's phone to 911 as surviving roommate is not able to coherently speak and is distraught. Up until today, I have always speculated that Ethan and Xana were killed first on the second floor. Now, I think it's likely Kaylee and Maddie were first and Ethan and Xana on the way out. However, the additional rumors that have circulated in town now seem to point toward Kaylee being the target due to overkill.
It recently came out from News Nation.
Okay, just to pause with you guys. I don't know. I don't put a ton of weight in even what we hear on the news from these sources, right? When they can't tell us who they are and there's gag orders and all the rumors that have already been spread. But I do want to talk about, I just wanted to kind of discuss it because I think it's important because we are trying to make sense of why it took so long to call 911. What happened that morning? And I do think that it's one way to make sense of it. You know what I mean? Mystic says, can you imagine wondering, is this real? Shut up. What do I do? The last thing you'd be able to do is deal with cops if it wasn't real. Oh, I know. I don't know. Amber, I need to know her makeup she uses. She's beautiful. She really is. Okay, we'll listen for just another minute more and then we're going to keep going.
And of course, this is all alleged because it's from a supposed inside source. Kaylee and Maddie were actually killed first. Then the killer killed Ethan, and then Xana. And Xana put up such a fight that her fingers were almost severed. This new information about the order in which they were killed also corroborates that Reddit post I read a couple months ago. I will link that in the description box.
Here's my speculating based on the above.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees?
Now that details have been added, killer enters second floor and first attacks Kaylee and Madison, who are in bed together on third floor. I believe Xana did wake up, unsure if it was due to rummaging or use of bathroom, etc. She runs into the killer coming from the third floor, runs back to her room where Ethan is sleeping to wake him. She's attacked and screams, and Ethan is killed also. Roommate on first floor hears rummaging and screams and comes out to check and sees the man in the ski mask at the top of the stairs. She is instantly scared and runs into roommate's room and locks her. She thinks she might be hallucinating from taking drugs and does not want to call 911 for fear of getting into trouble for the drugs. Decides to spend night in roommate's bedroom and sleep it off till morning. Killer spooked. Runs off out sliding glass door on second floor now that he's been seen. Next morning, she wakes up still unsure if she was actually hallucinating. Tries to call both sets of roommates and does not get a response. Starts to get an eerie feeling and calls friends over to come clear the home because she's too scared to leave the bedroom in case there really is someone in the house and to welfare check the roommates. Still worried about the issue of doing drugs the night before and unsure if they're overreacting, they call friends to come over instead of calling the police.
Okay, so this makes so much sense to me. I'm not saying this is what happened. It's just one way that I can make sense of what happened. Bullish says, I would think she was scared to call the police because of all the interactions they've had in the past. The smell of blood, right? And they did say that it was very strong. But if you're in the house, you guys know, like I think I talked about this with Teresa on her channel. But if you burn like wax melts or a candle or something like that in your house, then you know that you can put a new one out or light a candle and, set in there for an hour, and you don't really smell the smell until you walk outside and come back in. Sometimes you get used to it, I guess, for lack of a better word. What if Dylan thought was a robbery but scared to call 911? Let me be in the house, so lock the door. I don't know, you guys. I really don't know. Let me see. I think that was all. Besides, I did pull this post that kind of, and about the family attorney. So let me show you guys that next, because this is just a little bit of background on him. This is his about on this website, wakeupparents.com. So about Shannon Gray. Shannon Gray has been a criminal defense attorney for over 12 years, handling all types of juvenile and adult felonies. Now, I remember when he was first hired, everyone was like, why in the hell is the family hiring a defense attorney? That was bizarre. And at that time, Mr. Gonsalves was getting some backlash in the media and stuff. But anyways, it says Mr. Gray, prior to becoming a defense attorney, was a prosecutor for over 4 years and a police officer reservist. Mr. Gray has been on both sides of the table in the criminal justice system and recognizes the issues facing parents today. Mr. Gray has an extensive knowledge of the law and the effects of social media on juveniles and has made a vow to alert parents to the enormous amount of danger social media can expose to their children. There are huge generational issues that are in place, as well as a number of legal issues that come up when a child or teenager is accused of violating the law. Parents have to be proactive in protecting their children from sexual predators, the authorities, other kids, and themselves. Mr. Gray is the father of 5 children from the ages of 5 to 14, and he's been married for 14 years. Due to the beer virus. The beer virus. Your sinuses stop recognizing smells after a short period of time. That's why people can have bad breath and have no idea at all. Desensitized. I hear all the time that my house smells good, but I can't smell it. That's like Nadie, my friend who makes the tarts. She says you would think her house would smell so good, but she can't smell it at all. Well, no one's scared to call the cops once you know something happened, like murder. I don't think she thought anything close to what really happened. I think she was confused and half asleep. Oh, I agree. I don't think that's not going to be your first expectation of what's going on, even if you see a strange man in your house. It's a college house full of girls. Like, there's probably strange men in there sometimes. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go back to Facebook because I want us to go look at this girl's page. Hold on. Brittany J. Islope. She's got 2.4 thousand followers now. I should reach out to her and ask her to come on. Damn it, I've been muted this whole time. Thank you, Rescue Mom. Thank you, thank you. Oh my God, I cannot believe that. Ah, I'm so sorry. No, I didn't step away. Thank you, Rescue Mom. Oh my God. Well, regardless, I mean, all this crazy nonsense that makes absolutely no sense. She's got post after post after post about her letters having, I bet she's saying something really good. Damn it. About her letters having reached him already and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I'm just feeling bad. I'll be honest. There's a lot of people being mean in the, hey, Tiff. There's a lot of people being mean in the comments. Like calling her, look at the comment there, crazy bitch by Buck Cherry. There were comments that say like, this is what mental illness looks like. Just sad. I don't know. Are you muted? Sound off. Oh my God. I'm sorry, you guys. Someone give Alex a nudge. Can you have a bad trip on Molly? Yes, because it's very much, honestly, it's very similar to meth and stuff like that. You're probably not going to hallucinate immediately naturally because no, it's not a hallucinogenic, but because it depends on how long you've been awake, because after people have been awake for like 24 hours, whatever, then after that they start to hallucinate. See shadow people. It's super common that people on meth and on stimulants like that hallucinate, but I cannot believe I was muted that long. Sorry, Neil. I'm just trying hard to understand. But usually you can determine the difference from reality. I've done it, but like I said, it just felt like speed. Like it just, I don't like that feeling. I don't know. Usually you're able to determine what is reality, though, from what is the trip on Molly. See, I've never heard of anybody like tripping on it until they've been up for a couple of days. And then I don't know that they can determine what's reality and what's not. They start saying people are spying through their windows, hanging out in their trees. People get super paranoid and start to see a lot of craziness. Merp. You were in deep thought. If the Molly you took felt like speed, it was not Molly. No, it was Molly, and it does feel like speed. It speeds you up a little bit. Like now, when they mix it with like heroin or whatever, that's when it's ecstasy. But Molly is just the pure form of Molly definitely speeds you up. See, I have on speed seen things that I couldn't determine if were there or not, but not on day one. It was like after not sleeping, then the next day, that's when you start to see shadow people and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see you thinking, I don't know. I just don't see it the same as like acid or something like that you're going to take and question your reality immediately when you take it. Yes, lack of sleep is when you start hallucinating. Right. Pure MDMA does speed your body up. Yes, it does. But I don't know. I mean, lack of sleep is scarier than any drug you could imagine. I'm really curious on how much they were partying and that, I don't know. I'll be curious to find out the truth of some of that stuff. But this is an extenuating circumstance. So she may just immediately go, is this a bad trip? I guess that's possible, Mystic. I tried spice once and asked my husband to babysit me. Oh my gosh, I've seen people act crazy on that. That's some scary stuff. Really, really scary stuff. Even when I was in rehab, there were people in there addicted to it. There was one guy who was retired Army, and he was spending like all of his money on spice. Like, it's crazy the way that people get addicted to that. Sleep deprivation is a method prisoners of war receive. Yeah. I died and saw Jesus. No shit. Oh my God, Emma, I am so sorry to hear that. See, that is scary. Holy cow, I am so sorry. Let's be real. It's Greek life. It's party time. I know Greek life firsthand. See, I do not know Greek life at all, but I remember being in college and I remember we partied constantly, all the time, did tons of dumb shit. The one thing though, with like, Molly or any other kind of speed is you don't really get drunk on it either. So I don't know. I'll be curious to find out what happens. And do you ever party? Best time of your life guaranteed. I can't believe the way we used to drink and stuff. I don't drink at all now, but if I have like 1 or 2 beers, I swear I could feel it the next day. That's how sensitive I am. Like I get nauseous as hell. I don't enjoy it and I get hungover super easily. In college, it was like it's normal for everyone to drink every day. Spice is a big problem in the UK, especially in the prisons. It's more of a physical high versus psychological. Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I was never in Greek life either, but same as what you said, Alex. I got clean 33 years ago. A lot more people die today. That's awesome, Neil. Congratulations. That's a long, long time. Should be proud. A long, long time. Plus, if you're mixing uppers and downers like alcohol, you're sending the nervous system tons of mixed signals. Yeah, and a lot of times when people do speed and stuff, it can be really dangerous because, like, say, cocaine. Oftentimes people will drink a ton with it because you don't really feel it until it wears off, and then all the liquor hits you at once and you black out. Because I've wondered if she was on Molly, how did she go to sleep? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I don't know. I guess everybody's different too, and we have to keep that in mind. And, I may have a reaction to something that you may not. Regular general life gives me anxiety, or you know what I mean? So, of course, substances are going to work differently on you versus me, whatever. 1 glass of wine and I'm ready to fall asleep. Hey, Aaron. Well, I'm going to drop the link. I was going to read through this stuff for the preliminary hearing, but I'm going to save that. I was going to invite if anybody wants to come up and give your thoughts or opinions on this subject, as far as Dylan, the Sweetie Pie Low thing, any of the things we went over today, even this Brittany J. Hislop. Thinking about how much I used to drink in my college years and the other substances we dabbled in literally makes me feel ill. I know my angels were working overtime. Me too, Alicia. Huh. Yeah, Melissa, I don't know. And you get thirsty from the sweats. I remember, they tell you, drink a ton of water. I doubt Xana's mom was the connect. A lot of addicts get charged with dealing just for having individual bag drugs or pills. That's true, MK. I don't know, unless we got like the more information on it. It would depend. I've seen kind of both ways with that. Our bodies change over time to what we can handle. My husband likes his drinks, but the last 2 times he's had reactions to it. Wow, like huge hives on his body. And he usually drinks. See, that's crazy. Salvia, I've done that, K-Braze. I mean, oh my God, it is a trip. It only lasts like 30 seconds. But yeah, it's crazy as hell. Oh my gosh. That is a trip. Like, you completely go into another world. You think I thought I was in Mario World because we smoked it out of a Bart Simpson bong. That shit is scary, honestly. Can confirm that you can take Molly and not get drunk. Stop speed after a 4-day stretch and arguing with a Viking about changing the channel on my TV. After 4 days of being up, that makes sense. Salvia is nothing compared to Spice. I'm sober 3.5 years now. It's crazy how normalized drinking is. I don't think I had a problem. I didn't think I had a problem because of society's stance on alcohol. Shadow sleeper, that's it. I agree. And that's really dangerous in my opinion. alcohol is one of the most deadly and most dangerous drugs there are, and it is one of the top causes in young people's deaths. You know, it's highly addictive. You can die from the withdrawals. I don't know. I have my thoughts because it puzzles me to all hell that alcohol is legal and that marijuana, I mean, some states are still fighting for medical marijuana. How does that make sense? I don't think marijuana is for young people, right? It's not for developing minds or people that need to be super ambitious and that kind of stuff, but it's medicinal, you know. I don't know, it's crazy. It's so much safer. It makes absolutely no sense to me. The only thing that makes sense is the money aspect of it and the taxation aspect and that kind of stuff of why it would have been illegal. The entire effect of Molly is elevating your blood pressure and making your heart race. It also causes your internal core temperature to rise, not usually ideal to sleep. I'm glad that you're saying that because I tried to explain it, and for me, I couldn't have slept on Molly. But that's not like a super common, you know, it's not a substance that's super common. It's common in the age that these folks were, but you know, not in your everyday life. So I think people just don't know much about it. Adderall, I sleep like a baby. It's great. That's crazy to me how some people do that because I'm so opposite. Molly is definitely a love drug. The family strategically picked their lawyer, in my opinion, with all the backlash. The public law enforcement and the lawyer they picked sounds like he's got a good grasp on social media. I agree, Danny. I think that had something to do with it. Oh, Rescue Mom, have a great day, you guys. Glad to hear you now. A Bart Simpson bong. And it takes your ass to damn Mario Town or whatever the hell. I opened my closet door and seen the universe, looked at my bed, and I was still sitting on the bed smoking. It's crazy. It's scary. That is just so scary. The worst type of drugs are legal. Yep. Oh, speaking of all this stuff, though, you guys, never blame the ganja. Well, you know my stance on that. I'm all for it. But I'm going to start that addiction family series soon. So we're going to have different guests on who have, because I did a 4-part addiction series already. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go watch. And I have a short video with my story with photos of me and my active addiction and stuff like that you guys can find. But in my first one, I kind of just talked about some of the things that we go through as addicts, but I really want to discuss the damage that it does to your family and the people around you. And I do believe that our families suffer more than us because we're high a lot of the time. And just having been on both sides of it, because when it's completely out of your hands, when it's your addiction, you know, it's still in your control, at least somewhat. You may feel like it's not, but it is. So yeah, that's going to be really, really good. It's coming soon. I hope you guys will be here for that. It's going to bring tissues if you watch the other series too. It's really emotional and very good. It was too loud. Let's see. Alcohol about took me out. 19 grateful years in recovery. That's awesome. Protected. Oh, thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. It's sad. It really is. I'm going through a divorce due to my spouse having a double addiction. So sad. To people who have lost, we're going to talk to someone who's lost a parent. We're going to talk to someone who's lost a fiance. We're going to talk to people who've just dealt with it in other aspects, maybe not lost anyone, but had to deal with a brother or sister. It's going to be really good. Thank you, LFT. Thank you, Crime with K. But anyways, I guess we're done, you guys. Yes, I am in recovery, Tandy. Yep. Hey, Tess. Thank you. That's a very important part of taking personal accountability. You're so far ahead of yourself, old soul. True crime signs, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, accountability, the guilt, the shame, those kind of things, they're tough lessons to learn. But you got to get really real with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror. And I don't know, it's been a journey, like holding myself accountable, going through all the emotions along with that stuff. Oh, Tandy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My brother's in rehab right now. He got out last year and overdosed like within a day or two. And he's like almost 10 years older than me. I don't understand. I just don't understand how he isn't getting his shit together at this point in his life, but whatever. I guess we're all different. And, and that's part of it. You cannot control other people. And it's so hard to deal with that. It is so hard to actually realize and grasp and care about someone and love someone that is, you can't do anything about it unless they want to get better. There is nothing you can do. You really need to, it sucks, but a lot of times we have to create distance from those people because we have to protect ourselves, and I don't know. It's tough. During my addiction, I hurt a lot of people in my family that I did not even realize that I was hurting at the time. So I think that we don't realize, I don't know. It's not that we actively want to hurt anyone like that, but only 1 out of 30 get sober. It's crazy. Please don't let him go. Please be there for him when he does come around. Thank you, Brandy. All right. Thank you, Sonia. Thank all you guys for hanging out with me, talking about all this stuff, getting into the addiction topic. That's so important to me. So I'm here to talk about it. I'm here for it when you guys want to talk about it. Yeah, I love you guys and I appreciate you all so much. Alcohol is so scary. I had to literally be in enough pain to stop. It gave me neuropathy forever and chemo makes it worse. I'm sorry, Danielle. I hope everything's going okay. Hey, Nicole. No, you don't. You don't realize it all. That's why I take my stance that I do on like parenting, and a lot of these little kids that we talk about, their parents are using hard drugs. I don't think that you should have custody of little kids when you're on drugs like that. I don't think that you're making the decisions that are best for them. I still think that you love them and care about them, because I've seen that get a little twisted. I know that in active addiction, we still love our families. We still love our kids. We don't see what we're doing to them. We don't. We're not actively choosing, I want to hurt you today. I want to hurt my kids. I want to keep my mama up tonight. I would like to make her cry herself to sleep or whatever, So, but no, I didn't, Danny B. Oh, my friend passed away from withdrawals. So that's ridiculous. All right. I love you guys. Thank you, Iffy. I love you. I'm proud of you. Yes, congratulations to anybody in here in recovery and is sober. Recovery is different for everyone, but difficult for all. Proud of you. Thank you, Merp. Well, I don't like people who try to tell other people if they're in. I've heard people shaming other people for maintenance drugs when they're on maintenance drugs. How do you do that? Or, some people, they still take benzos when they're in recovery. Some people may have a drink here or there. Some people may smoke. To me, it's all about the process of trying to understand yourself, your disease, and trying to be a better person, trying to do the right thing, actively day by day, trying to do what's right. And it's not just about abstaining from everything. It's recovery because it's a journey. It's like a process of bettering yourself and your life. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day. I love you all. I'll see you like tomorrow or sometime soon. Thank you guys for being here and talk to you soon. Bye.